Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master. I'm here with my brother, and we are going to explore a new generation of Merfolk. Take a look at this list. What is it missing? Something is gone, and that is Spreading Seas. I think the era of Spreading Seas has finally tipped the scale to the point that we do not need it anymore, and now it is time to explore new design space. We have 4 new slots that we can do whatever we want with. What does the new version of Merfolk look like without it? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to find out. Before we get into our deck tech, we are going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com, with content on Arena, Standard, Modern, Pioneer, Historic, and more. The Mana Base is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or you can get 15% off your first 3 months by using my coupon code Nikachu. And we have got new patrons supporting the channel on Patreon. Thank you very much, everyone who supports the channel, both on Patreon, for anyone watching the replays on YouTube, and also the Twitch subscribers who watch it live. Everyone can say hi to themselves on YouTube. So I would very much like to thank Bella Varga. We're going to thank Harald Thompson. And lastly, we're going to thank Cyber Robojo. Thank you very much, everyone, for supporting the channel on Patreon. So here's the deal. Spreading Seas slowly got worse and worse and worse over time. And a lot of people like, Nikachu, is it time to replace Spreading Seas with like Aquatex Will? And I said we have to keep it because of the Tron decks, like Eldrazi Tron and Normal Tron. But those decks are just falling down in numbers. Like, they're not very popular. Eldrazi Tron keeps like losing ground. And now I'm feeling like this is like a really clunky 2-mana card. Like, is it good against Uro? No. Do I have time to play it against any Death Shadow deck? No. Is it good against Prowess? No. Humans? No. Like, I just like having a few of them against humans, but I never feel like I have any time to actually cast the thing. And all the games that I win against humans is when I'm just lording them out, basically. Death and Taxes? No. I mean, it's really hard now against Death and Taxes, because not only can they Ghost Quarter the land, Flicker Wisp their land, but they can also Skyclave Apparition the land, so Spreading Seas is now like more dead than ever in that matchup. Titan decks? No. They can just bounce the Karoo land in some situation. Like, usually you just win if they don't get their Titan out, because you've controlled the board, either force and negating the Summoner's Pact or playing Chalice on 0 for Summoner's Pact. So Spreading Seas not good against there. Against control decks, no. Jund, it's okay. You can still hit the Raging Ravine. You can sometimes color screw them, but sometimes it just doesn't matter at all because the opponent has Ren and 6. So it's like okay against Jund, but not amazing. Eldrazi Tron, yes, but that deck is falling down, and there's like just a slew of combo decks, and like there's just so many decks now. Like, Spreading Seas just mediocre or useless, and I'm finding just too many of my games that I'm winning are without Spreading Seas. So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. And now that we're seeing an uprising of Death and Taxes, of humans, of spirits, let's get more creature-centric. Let's play with Harbinger, more Harbingers, more Tricksters, and let's tap things down with Mirror Regery and copy these effects like as much as possible and push our damage that way. So anyway, that is the direction I want to take the deck. And now, so I played this for a fun 4-1 on Sunday, and I called it Speedrun Simic. It's got, you know, it's like a mindless aggro deck, but against a bunch of very heavy creature-based decks in the metagame right now, I think that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing a list like this. So we're at 21 land. I'm at 22 lands, but I'm only playing 3 Glasspool Mimic. I don't know if that is the correct number. Maybe we should go to 23 lands and really curve out comfortably. But in a Simic list, I definitely don't want to. What's wrong here? Oh, I cut a Mutavault for a Glasspool Mimic. Yeah, that's fine. So, but with Simic, I don't want to go below 19 lands because I need to be able to curve out regularly. And a lot of people wanted to see Glasspool Mimic in a Simic list, so I guess that's basically it. And I'm shying away from Mono Blue because, like, Benthic Biomancer doesn't really do it in a lot. As I see more spirits pop up, more humans, I'd much rather have Kumena Speaker over Benthic Biomancer. So we're going to go back to this green stuff. Merfolk Mistbinder, I'm not certain if I want to have 3 of these and only 3 of Regeries. There was the option to go like Regery and 1 Mistbinder and the other way around. Well, not really. I'd rather, it's either going to be 4 Regery, 2 Mistbinder, or we split it 3 and 3. I think Regery is the better card right now. But this is the list that I had on Sunday, so I know something's got to change in this list. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not solid. I feel like something's got to be scrapped. It's possible I scrap all the Mistbinders and bring the Master of Waves in the main deck. Okay, let's talk about that. Master of Waves. Let's talk a little Master of Waves. What the hell's going on here? Why do I even have this in the deck? Why do I have this in the 75 again? I need something against Prowess. I need something, and I can still bring this in against Jund decks. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be awkward because I have no answer. I have no good answer to Plague Engineer at the moment. But it's just something that I can bring in randomly. If I have to take out the weakest card, maybe it's Benthic Biomancer, Master of Waves. I think it's gonna be good against Death Shadow. The only thing really killing it is what's it called? Fatal Push. I think it's gonna be good against Prowess. I think it's going to be fine against humans. Death and Taxes just as a way of going super wide. Master of Waves plus Glasspool Mimic is a fantastic combo, putting tons of elementals on the battlefield. So I would like to try out Master of Waves again. It did work against... I actually only played it against one Mono-Red Prowess player, and that was M. Hayashi, and Master of Waves was single-handedly the only reason I won that match. I lost game 1 easily, and won game 2 and 3 relatively comfortably because Master of Waves had pro red and could attack through a bunch of stuff. But I would ideally like to have some Master of Waves in the main deck to make room in the sideboard for something else. I think I should have some Dismembers in the 75 somewhere, at least for Plague Engineer, at least for Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I just don't know what to scrap yet. And I just don't want to have it in the main deck. Dismember is also it's hit or miss, but it's also just bad against spirits. It's bad against humans. You don't want to be taking that damage. It's okay against Death and Taxes, I don't mind, so long as they don't have a Giver of Runes out, but, like, that's the problem here. Yeah, Return of the King. I will say, Master of Waves is still awkward against a lot of the metagame. It's still slow and clunky, but it's just... I need something against, Prowess. I just need something. Otherwise, I'm like a 50-50 or worse deck in that matchup, and it's just too popular. And I also don't mind Master of Waves in the Shadow matchup. It helps a lot, too. Okay. So with that, let's get into our Modern League. The hand is fine. I'm going to keep it. We lost the die roll. I'll have a turn 1 Ether Vial. I won't have anything to do turn 2 on the play, but I do have a land I can at least have on turn 2. We might... Oh, loves the content. Thanks. My brother knows you somehow. So we're gonna keep this hand.
I know you played up against this person before.
Oh, maybe it's... Oh, I can't tell if it's Death and Taxes. Okay, that was a good draw, so that we have at least something put in play with this Ether Vial next turn, even if we don't draw a land. Drawing a land would be the best, though. So Giver Runes is always awkward when we have this. Okay, they're going to take our... I don't know what they're going to take. Maybe Command Speaker. Still, drawing an untapped land would be the best draw for us. At this point, it's Eldrazi and Taxes, though. Now, this is a matchup where Spreading Seas is good. So we're just going to make do without it. I have no idea how we're going to do that right now. Lord down. Getting that damage while you can.
Should have taken your 1-drop.
Although, in games 2 and 3, we have Master of Waves, which I think will be very valuable in this matchup. But they might be playing with Skyclave Apparition. 5 Uro Piles coming. I'm hoping. I would love Uro Piles. Okay, we will definitely play this and pass. We could get pretty screwed if they play Skyclave here. Because they'll take our Ether Vial.
A lot of claves in the current metagame.
So I will not let them take Command Speaker. Even though it's a 1-1. And then no matter what they take, I'm going to at least play 2 creatures. Or I'll get 2 creatures and play next turn. Alright, how do we beat Grizzly Bear Army with a Giver of Runes on the other side? Well, maybe enough Lords will do it.
There we go.
I mean, we can, like, Trickster this at end of turn, and then, you know, go from there. So, play Merfolk Mistbinder, pass.
Should still at least have 1 or 2 Seas claim or something.
Can I
Island Walker's
attack
important.
here? No, I can't attack. Actually, I can make their attacks awkward. Giver of Runes can only give pro to like one color at one time.
It's a lot of pain land.
Yes. So if this is Thought Not Seer, I'll just play Mass of the Pearl Trident. If this is Wasteland Strangler, that's going to really suck. Okay, it's Wasteland Strangler. It will suck. Yeah, I don't have enough lords to protect it. This represents Fatal Push or something, so... Because there's no way they... Oh, do they know about this? Actually, they don't know about this one. But it's still so likely they have Fatal Push or Path to Exile. I'm just gonna take the two. Well, I don't need the... Yeah, but I don't need the mana. G4 says, do you remember me talking about the Druid script? I tried talking to Laplacian, but he does not allow messages on Twitter. Do you know any other way of reaching out to him? Well, you gotta add him on Twitter then. I mean, maybe he doesn't take DMs, but like that's it. That's all I got. Another Giver of Runes. Okay, so maybe that was a bluff? Well, whatever. I would just save 2 damage, but...
That's a lot of damage.
Okay, we'll put Silvergill Adept in play. We do sort of need to do something here.
2 more lords.
They know about Trickster.
Island. Alright.
Well, that's not bad, because that can be used to copy the Mass of the Pearl Trident. So I cannot attack into anything at the moment. It sucks that they got the second Giver of Runes, because now I can, if I Trickster a Giver of Runes, it doesn't mean anything. Ideally, I want to Trickster a Giver of Runes and be able to swing back for a lot more damage. Alright, you have 1 more card left. That kind of sucks, because I would really like to keep this Glasspool Mimic. But the good news is, oh, they're empty-handed, but they still have a bunch of silent clearings. We're just, like, losing this. We were a bit... This Glasspool Mimic was just a bit too slow. If we could put something in play on turn 2, we might be, like, counterattacking right now, but we just can't. So what's going to end up happening is our opponent's just going to eventually draw into, like, more Wasteland Stranglers and other things. I guess you can give double protection to 1 creature, so might as well just prevent damage from 1. Dubious attack. Gain nothing. Might as well just attack with this.
Big lords.
I'll keep this in my hand just in case we draw Benthic Biomancer, but we're just passing.
Imagine if you had a seize claim on one of his lands.
Yes.
6-9.
I was just talking about how like Spreading Seas is so unplayable, and now we're in a matchup where Spreading Seas is actually incredibly good. But Eldrazi and Taxes is basically non-existent in the metagame. There's this Skyclave Apparition. We're seeing it today. We're seeing it in this round. Truth be told, in the leagues you can play again. You can definitely play again. Why am I casting anything? I don't need to. Oh, you corrected your mistake. Okay, take 3. There's nothing I can do about this. Yeah, maybe add Laplacian G-Force. I mean, outside of Twitter, I don't have any other contact information. They still know about Trickster, so we might as well just play this. Well, there's the Benthic Biomancer. But it's more or less all for nothing. I'm just gonna wait for game. Like, so my game plan, game two, would be to go wide with Master of Waves, copy it with Skyclave Apparition. Or sorry, with Glasspool Mimic, and go wide. Or just aggro them out on the play. Giver of Runes has been a big deal this game. That's correct. If you destroy in response, you don't get the card. Or you don't get the effect. You don't have... That is such a bizarre... Okay, so first I will Trickster and force them to use one of... That is like a really bizarre attack. That was greedy as hell. Okay, so I'm going to tap one of these down and force them to tell me which of these creatures is going to get protection from anything. This has pro blue. Alright, so this is definitely what I'm blocking. This attack was terrible. We're probably still losing, but I mean, this is not that bad. I mean, whatever. I guess our opponent can make that play anyway. They have a board. I have no board. I'm most definitely not coming back from this. Hello, Pessimist Scientist. This is a good card. But not in the face of 2 Giver of Runes. Just sort of waiting for our opponent to just kill us. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Okay, let's just... We can go to the next one. It's okay. I know when I'm dead. And when I'm dead, I'm dead. Okay, I like Harbinger. I like Trickster. I guess we're just going to remove Benthic Biomancer and maybe 1 land. Or I guess I can't remove any lands. Even though they play with Path to Exile for Master of Waves. And that's about it. Just make it a chunkier deck. More high impact spells. So I should mention earlier, I've come to the conclusion that I should remove Spreading Seas because when I've been carefully taking note every single deck list on every deck I'm playing against, and basically the only time Spreading Seas is good is like the 1 out of 6 times that I play again, or like I would say Spreading Seas is good 1 out of 5 matches at the moment, something to that effect, and the only times it's playable is when I'm up against some sort of really old fringe archetype like Eldrazi and Taxes. But this deck could come back. Looks like they're utilizing some new stuff. Hand looks great. We're going to keep. Turn 1 Speaker, Lord, hopefully into Master of Waves, and hopefully they do not have enough ways of dealing with it. Architect's Will, combo with Reedry. It does combo, but I'm not looking for Island Walk because I don't need Island Walk. That's the issue. I'm going to prioritize the Lords over Silvergill Adept because that's going to be really important when, like for example, if my opponent plays turn 2, what's the stupid thing called?
Boatman. Tidehouse Sculler.
Tidehollow Sculler.
The man in the boat.
I would rather have Lords on the battlefield than Silvergill Adept. So something's going to get Fatal Pushed or Pathed or something. No, nothing.
She's got a fistful of creatures.
Fistful of creatures.
Too late.
Alright, just don't have Wasteland Strangler. I can beat a lot of stuff, but I can't beat Wasteland Strangler.
That effect is too powerful.
Does it ever earn a sideboard slot for those 1 out of 5? Well, that's the question. I had 2 copies, but like I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, so here's the deal. I can now tap down things like Eldrazi Displacer. Uh, great.
Tap land.
I can untap a land. Or if I try to tap, Displacer just gets pro something. So that was always the problem with Master of Waves. But I have other things to do this turn. So I can play Silvergill Adept, attempt to tap Displacer. They'll probably give it pro blue with Giver of Runes, which is fine.
You could copy your Rajiri.
I don't have enough mana for that. I mean, I guess I could attempt that and attack with everything. They can only give pro something to one of these creatures. And then there would be an exchange. I would also like to just save Glasspool Mimic for the turn that I draw. Okay, well, what I could do, okay, I can play Silvergill Adept and untap a land, and if I draw a land, I can play Glasspool Mimic. If I don't draw a land, I can play probably whatever Lord that I just drew. I mean, there are some things that I could end up failing to draw very well. It's tough. What is the correct line here? That's pretty good. Seems like something I have to do post-combat, though. Okay. Give pro green. I can then tap, bounce this thing. I guess I should just tap, bounce, give her a pass. Okay, so that will disable Giver of Runes for the next turn.
Can it give protection to itself?
No. Didn't even give pro anything. Didn't even try. That was a slip or something.
Boink.
Okay, so in that case, well, I can just attack for 4 here. Teach me why Biomancer is so good, please. Wow, it didn't even block. Okay, interesting. So we might just go for wide for the win. Teach me why Biomancer is not that good. It's pretty crappy. I'm not going to defend Biomancer. Biomancer has seen better days. Okay, Giver of Runes is back.
And uglier than ever.
Basically. So is this going to be Flicker Wisp or something? I'm probably going to play Master of Waves just to tap the Vial so that my opponent can't do any sort of tricky crap. Could you activate more times and going on the stack for multiple draws? No, you cannot. If you could, it would be a little bit better, but it'd still be pretty mana intensive. Because it specifically says if it does not already have a counter, you can add more mana. Wow, their hand really blows. You have all this mana and you're still... Their hand must be nothing. Their hand has to have nothing in it.
3.
There's no way you do that.
2.
I'm just going to tap their Vial. guess I could tap Displacer, and then, like, what if you Flicker Wisp? Is that so bad? Because if I tap Vile and they Flicker Wisp, say, Rejury, they actually have enough blockers to survive. But if I tap down the Displacer, they would need to Flicker Wisp a Lord, block, Path or something.
She just hit the wild.
And I'm assuming our opponent has, like, nothing in hand otherwise. The other option is Skyclave Apparition, but still dies to everything. And still, this line, they had nothing. I get maybe they had. I don't know what they had. They had mana open. They didn't play Path. They didn't play Push. They didn't play anything.
Hello, Mathematic.
Yeah. Do you hear the sound of waves, opponents? So anyway, we're just gonna run that back. It was totally fine.
Mathematic, the most rewatchable movie of all time is The Adventures of Pluto Nash. The biggest box office bomb in history.
This hand's fine. Hopefully they don't have Vile. They have Vile. All right, Vile Mirror. But at least we have lands for turn 2. Yeah, this is the first match.
Neither have I. No, don't.
Giver of Runes is tough. I hate Giver of Runes. So what are the... Well, if you play... I only have 2 Lords in hand, so I mean, if they go next turn... show the Mass of the Pearl Trident. If they go Thought-Knot Seer next turn, they're going to eat a Lord anyway, so there's no point putting a Lord on the battlefield. I'll take the extra card if I can.
Hello, Mr. Diddy.
For me, the most rewatchable movie is Tenet, and I've only watched it once. Another Giver of Runes? Fuck, Giver of Runes Tribal. Well, I mean, we can outpower... Again, we have Master of Waves this time. We can outpower this stuff, but it's still tough. Like, this can turn into Wasteland Strangler now.
No idea what food fight is.
Scarface has to be up there. Oh, yeah. We watched Well, I watched Scarface a million times. I'm so upset that Scarface isn't on Netflix right now.
I'm sure you could find it for 10 cents at Salvation Army. I guarantee it.
Okay, our opponent's a little choked on mana. That's some good news. We are going to curve into this Master of Waves, but the disappointing thing is we can't get through these Giver of Runes yet.
Citizen Game was alright. How's it going? It's alright.
If I attack with both of them, would that help? That might help push some damage.
The weather's starting to
No, wait a minute. They can block this. I guess I don't have a good attack yet without like losing to Fatal Push or Path to Exile at the moment. Let's just not do anything.
Our Winnipeg winter is coming. It's just around the corner.
So here's the plan. I want to play Master of Waves, and I want it to not die. And then we're going to win. How good is Tenet without giving up spoilers? It's high variance. You're going to either love the hell out of it, or you are going to find it like ridiculously stupid because it's the plot is sort of complicated, and there's a lot of gaps in the story that they don't show. So you can end up seeming confused. That's why I said it's the most rewatchable, because if the more times you watch it, I saw all the spoilers ahead of time, and I really enjoyed the movie because of that. Creatures you control get +1/+1 creatures. Okay, so
I've never heard of this food fight movie.
I'm just trying to figure out, can this thing die from something on 3? Oh, they're gonna flicker with something of mine. Okay, I'm just gonna put this Lord in play to protect myself from that garbage. Orzhov Pontiff is a very good card versus Merfolk. So the idea is when it ETBs, can give all my creatures -1/-1, and then like if it dies, it can do it all over again. So if it can do this effect twice in one turn, it's really strong. Okay, so they're gonna give their own. They saw the second lord, they realized, okay, fuck this other plan. Let's do this plan.
Oh, just passing though.
Yeah, just passing. Still has the option to do that thing.
You should risk putting it to 3.
No. I'm glad I didn't. So, if we tick... Well, actually, if I play Master of Waves and hit the Ether Vial, it'll slow them down a turn. Because this triggers first.
Hello, M5.
Use your Vial or don't use it at all. There's Flicker Wisp. So what you would like to target? My Ether Vial.
Let's look at that boy out now. And you'll get 2 more pips.
I will get 2 more pips. I have 1 card left. I actually should tap down the Orzhov Pontiff. Do I tap down Giver of Runes?
We have gotten snow, but it's melted mostly by now.
There's a pile of snow I can see outside the window. This is tough. Flicker Wisp, Orzhov... Because I don't want Orzhov Pontiff to die and then shrink my board, especially with Master of Waves on the battlefield. Maybe we try to tap this thing down. Okay, what are you going to do? Gonna give a pro something? Oh. Okay. No, I don't want to use the ability anymore. Thank you very much. So this is the go wide plan. Which is not going to work very well against this Pontiff.
Maybe we get a second boy.
Can I attack? I guess I can't attack here. They can just block, give pro whatever. I would have to attack with the lords too. But then they can block lord, give it pro. I deal 8 damage. That's tempting, because if they don't have anything in hand, if this like they've seen Master of Waves since they played the Tide Hollow Sculler. They've seen Master of Waves since Tide Hollow Sculler. How much damage am I dealing right now? 5. I'm not really overpowering them. What do I have here? So if they block the 5 largest things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 12, 17 damage. Like, I'm incentivized to deal some damage here. But anyway, I can't. I guess we're just going to pass and hope this Orzhov Pontiff doesn't die and blow out all my tokens.
Can he flicker it up? Well, I guess he can't now.
Nika Bro, I DM'd you the wiki for Food Fight on Twitter.
What's Twitter?
It's the only thing that I advertise your social to. Hopefully they don't have Wasteland Strangler. There's a lot of things I'm hoping for. Like, I wouldn't say we are favored in a board stall against Eldrazi and Taxes. Honestly, I don't think we're favored in a board stall.
Maybe he just has 2 lands in hand.
I mean, they can Flicker Wisp the Pontiff. If they get, like, Eldrazi Displacer, they start doing this crap. This is definitely like, if I have Spreading Seas here, we don't actually push any damage right now. We don't have an Island Walker, but I can, like, slow down a lot of effects. I guess, honestly, maybe Spreading Seas isn't even good in this matchup anymore, because they've got now Flicker Wisp. They do usually have some Ghost Quarters, but they are also playing with the Skyclave Apparition. Just look at what Giver of Runes is doing for this deck, though. This would be, I guess, an okay matchup for Dismember, so I can deal with this Giver of Runes and not have to deal with it again. You know what I could have done? I could have saved this Trickster instead of putting on the battlefield. Like, I got those extra elementals, but I could have done a thing where at end of turn I tap Giver. It's going to be a Flicker Wisp on a Flicker Wisp. Okay, Flicker Wisp on Orzhov Pontiff, comes back, eats up all my tokens. Okay. So I'm just going to lose all my elementals. Come on. Second Master of Waves.
That would be brutal. Or Mimic.
Mimic would be fine too. Is there any way I can push damage here? I don't know.
Just go wide.
That's really fair for them. They just draw 4 mana sources and have gas everywhere else. I cannot push damage here. Not without losing something for nothing, so I'm just going to pass.
Dire Straits, something for nothing.
At this point with, well, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for us. Yeah, I wish I held on to this Trickster. Because I could, at the end of their turn here, well, I guess not. They ate up my Regery, but then tap down, like, the idea was tap down Giver, hit the other Giver, then I would actually can attack and they can't block without losing stuff. Money for nothing and beatdowns from Eldrazi and taxes for free. Now, we do need to find something quickly. I mean, these Flickerwisp will do very short work to us. Second Master of Waves or Glasspool Mimic. Problem is I have these damn 3/2 creatures. And also if Pontiff dies, then the 3/3 creatures can die too. I guess if I drew a Lord there, it would be okay. Ah, we're just dead now. Now we're pretty fucked. Because they can go now end step, blink Flickerwisp, take a Lord, blink. No, I guess no. Yeah, they can blink Orzhov Pontiff, shrink my board, and then kill off Master of Waves, Silvergill Adapt, and Silvergill Adapt.
He's got the lock.
Why are they playing with Pontiff? Pontiff is very good against us. I won't like it's like another sort of almost like Wasteland Strangler like card, which we already had trouble beating. Attack for 6. Yeah, I needed to draw a second Master of Waves in good time. This is definitely not the speed run that I was looking for. And now they will blink. They're just gonna blink it twice. That's fine too.
Oof.
See, look, my board is gone. They found an even better line than what I was discussing.
Good games.
Let's get back here. We can rebuild the board. Whatever. Good games. I think we lost single-handedly to Giver of Runes, but this shows that maybe I need to have some Dismembers in the deck. Dismember would help a lot in this matchup, because like I said, I need to replace something. I don't know what I need, but now this particular game shows I should lean to some number of Dismembers in the 75. At least can pick off Giver of Runes, or can pick off the creature that tries to give protection to something, because I would love to hit this Tide Hollow Skull or get my Master of the Pearl Trident back. So in this case, I would prefer to have some Dismembers. Still don't feel bad about having no Spreading Seas, because there's already still a lot of answers to Spreading Seas in this deck. They can blink the land that I put Spreading Seas on, and then can't really do anything. And by the way, we went to 3 games. I didn't get completely run over. I think I only got run over because we're up against double Giver of Runes. That's tough. It's actually tough to try to beat 2 Giver of Runes if I don't have access to Dismember. Or Spreading Seas for that matter. Oh, but that is the game for today. So everyone watching live, we're going to continue playing, but everyone on the replay on YouTube, that's going to be it for today. We're going to thank all my patrons and Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel. We're also going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com and Mana Traders. This is Nikachu with his brother playing Speedrun Simic in Modern.